Namaskaram to everyone. It was in the year 1998 that certain experts from United Nations came to southern India and they made a prediction, particularly about Tamil Nadu. They said by 2025, 60% of Tamil Nadu will become a desert. I don't like predictions of any kind, astrological, political, economic, because these predictions may have some cold statistics behind it, but they never take into account what is beating in a human heart. What people could do in that period, that's never taken into account. So I was not convinced, so I drove around Tamil Nadu just to see if this is true, this prediction that they're making. I found it's not true because in my estimate, it would happen much sooner than 2025. 3 rivers have completely dried up in northern Tamil Nadu. Our borewells, when I first entered Tamil Nadu about 28 years ago, we were hitting water at 80 feet or 100 feet in Coimbatore city. Today we're going 1700 feet. Tell me, where is a tree which can put its roots to 1700 feet? In Bangalore city, the borewells are over 2000 feet. We are living like we are the last generation on this planet, really. So, when I saw this, then I made I am not a scientist or an environmentalist. I made a simple barefoot calculation. This is the number of square kilometers we have in Tamil Nadu, this is the area. If we plant 114 million trees in the next 8 to 10 years' time, in 15 to 20 years' time, we will have 33% green cover, because on that day the green cover was 16.5%. I called a bunch of volunteers, about 4,000 of them, and I said, see, we need to plant 114 million trees. Their eyeballs rolled and they said, Sadhguru, do you know how many zeros in 114 million? How can anybody plant 114 million trees? Then I asked them a simple question, what is Tamil Nadu's population? They said 62 million. I said, if all of us plant one tree, take care of it for 2 years and plant one more, you got the number. It's just that all of us consume, but all of us do not compensate, that's the whole problem. So we started this movement called Project Green Hands. We are a big failure because it's now 16, 17 years since we started planting. First 6 years we planted in people's minds, now we're transplanting in the last 16 years. We have reached 32 million, not 114 million. So in terms of numbers, it's a failure. But it spawned many movements around it. Over 70 or 75 new organizations came up who all planting in their own capacity. And above all, the culture has changed, a culture of care has come in. We started this green school movement where I brought this idea of, if you take a dog or a cat as a pet, every 8 years, 10 years you'll have a heartbreak. You take a tree as a pet, it will live beyond you. Maybe we can even bury you under that. You make good manure we all make good manure. If we did not do anything eco-sensitive, at least in our death, we always are eco-friendly. That also some people want to transport their body to outer space, which is a crime, because this is a soil from this land, you must put it back use it as long as you want and put it back at least. So this movement started and then I saw people think it's impossible to plant this many trees. So as a demo, there was a hill behind our center which was sheared off all the trees because there was an illegal furniture factory there. First thing is I bought out this factory and closed it down. They knew we desperately wanted this, so we had to pay 4 times for that land and bought out the factory, closed it down, and then I got 4,650 or 700 volunteers for only 4.5 days. I gave them a song to sing and 2 meals a day, and we planted over 6 million trees in the hill. This hill which used to be bald and brown in summers, today it's green, and if you go up and see, you will see all the trees are about 18 years old. At that time, in summertime, our temperatures in the yoga center used to be at least 3 degrees higher than Coimbatore city. Today if you come, minimum 4 degrees less than Coimbatore city, and this took us only 4.5 days. We didn't give up our lives to do this. And in this 32 million, we did not count them because we planted seeds. These 32 million are saplings. So the next phase when we wanted to plant across Tamil Nadu, I did a simple thing. One day I called a meeting in a village, in a small town rather. Over 6,000 people gathered. So I put the meeting in hot sun at 11 o'clock in the morning. Tamil Nadu sun is strong and they all sat there, I also sat there in hot sun. Then I went on talking, just kept on talking about something. They were all like that, brightened, slowly wilted away. And of course they're thinking, what's wrong with Sadhguru? Why is he making us sit here? Just close by, there were 5 rain trees covering almost 3 acres of land, shade. So obviously they were looking at the trees with will this man have enough wisdom to move under a tree? So I waited for about an hour and a half when they can't take it anymore. Then I said, okay, let's go, sit under a tree. You know, you must sit under the sun for 1 or 2 hours, then go under a tree and the way it feels, you know. Then they all said, and I said, sit here. Every moment you're breathing, if you're not doing anything else useful, one thing you're doing, you're breathing. What you exhale, the tree is inhaling. And what they exhale, you're inhaling. Literally 1/2 of your breathing apparatus is out there. Not everything is here. The entire equipment is not here. Half the equipment is out there. So we set up a meditative process through which they experience this. Once we did this, now we can't stop them from planting, because now they see it's a part of them. There is a strong experience that people everywhere in Tamil Nadu, people keep chanting, what we exhale they inhale, what they exhale we inhale, so we can't do without them. So these kind of movements are fine. 32 million trees looks like a large number, but this is still not a solution. This is still for people's satisfaction. It's nice, it's wonderful that people did this, but it's not enough. This will not bring a solution. If a solution has to happen, a clear-cut policy as to how we treat our soil and water has to come in the country. I watched this, my engagement with nature has been right from my childhood, but in the last 25 years I've been watching with concern how rivers are depleting. I swam in Kaveri almost every day from the age of 12 to 17. Today I go to the same place, I can just walk across, you definitely cannot swim, because water is only this much. The scientists are saying the depletion of water in Kaveri is only 40% in the last 25 years. But in my estimate, it's well over 60%. They are thinking of cusecs of water. But if you just look at visually the flow of water, definitely it's over 55% or 60%. And this year, Kaveri dried up 170 kilometers inland. The entire run of Kaveri in Tamil Nadu is only 430 kilometers. 170 kilometers inland it dried up. And 2 states are at war with each other about this drying up river. Krishna is totally dried up, it's Godavari water flowing in Krishna. Narmada has dropped 60%. These are all great rivers of our nation which have flown forever. So, the depletion, everybody knows what's the problem. The concerned people know what is the solution. The question is, who is to bell the cat? We have covered… we left Coimbatore on 3rd of September, today is 17th. We've covered about 4,700 kilometers and about 42 events on the way. So, to make up the time, we've been driving in the nights and events in the day but the phenomena of people responding to this is so tremendous. And more than anything, these 7 states, if you take it, there are 6 political parties ruling these 7 states. From here on, I believe it's going to be easy because this is just one party in the next 9 states But these southern states have responded so phenomenally, all these different political parties coming together in one voice. And when I was in Puducherry, the Chief Minister, Shri Swami was saying, Sadhguru 25 years ago, when I was in Rajiv Gandhi's cabinet, very similar policy we came up with. Our experts prepared the policy, we all agreed, we wanted to implement, but we could never get the concurrence from the states. Each state says its own thing and never agrees on anything. But I have to acknowledge the political leadership across the country. I met only 2 chief ministers to explain to them what the policy is about. Rest of them I just wrote a letter. All of them confirmed their dates within 15 days. Thank you very much for that, because this is for the first time in independent India that across political spectrum, everybody is standing up for one cause. This has not happened, unfortunately, in this country. Especially when I was in Karnataka, the current Chief Minister, Sri Siddaramaiah, was on the stage. Next to him was the past Chief Minister, Sadanand Gowda, was there, and next to him was Anand Kumar, and people are talking that he could be the next Chief Minister. All 3 of them together, right now election time, lot of heat and issues are happening on the street, but all of them jovially sitting together and all of them speaking in one voice for the same thing. I don't think we have seen such situations in the past So, I'm deeply grateful to the political class that they have taken this stand. This is Bharat. For every small thing we will fight, but when real issues come, we come together as one, so this is really great for the nation. And now that I heard Sudhirji is here, he is a green warrior, he's not a minister he is full on. And also the Honorable Chief Minister said the same things. When I was in Andhra Pradesh, the Chief Minister there said, Sadhguru, whether the center passes this policy or not, Andhra Pradesh will be the first state which will implement the policy. It doesn't matter whether they pass it or not. I said, fine, and then I came to Telangana. Telangana said, Sadhguru, we will be the sample state, we will do it first. I hear the same things here. This is fantastic for the nation. And these 3 states these 2 that I came through and now I'm here, especially Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, have already taken steps in a huge way. The Andhra Pradesh is determined to make 50% of the agriculture land into horticulture, 50%. This is the only state I have seen. As I was driving on the highway from Vijayawada to Hyderabad, I saw 12 cold storages, large ones, run by private industry. Nowhere else in the country there is infrastructure for agricultural products to be taken care of. And as you know, people are committing suicide. This is not a joke. Why this is happening is, every time such things happen, I see reports, this is because the tomato prices crashed, that's why they committed suicide. Or some bank is proactive about recovering loans, that's why they committed suicide. But believe me, if you and me get into farming, let's get into farming on a land which is not fertile and there is not adequate water, believe me, both of us will be driven to suicide because it's a heartbreaking activity. So one thing that's happened is, our soil has depleted so tremendously that it is difficult to grow anything there. 25% of India is on the verge of becoming a desert. To call soil as soil, United Nations has fixed a standard that minimum 2% organic content should be there. In states like Punjab, Haryana, Marathwada, southern Tamil Nadu, some parts of Andhra Pradesh, the organic content in the soil is 0.05%. This means this soil has only 3 to 5 years to become sand. The estimates, this is not activist talk, this is not alarmist talk, this is proper science. They're clearly saying, if we don't do something drastic in the next 40 years, 60% of India will become uncultivable. Southern India, south of India, we have a history of agriculture for over 8 to 12,000 years. We have farmed the same land for 10,000 years, but today in one generation it has become uncultivable. How are we going to take care of this 1.3 billion people if we lose our ability to grow food? Another thing is, if you want to make a survey, you make it and see, you ask the farmer, how many of them want their children to go into farming? Less than 15%, believe me. This knowledge that we have taken into ourselves for the last 8–10,000 years, we're going to lose it in the next 25 to 30 years. It doesn't matter how much education you have, it doesn't matter you studied in an agriculture university, just get to the land and grow a crop. Believe me, you can't do it. It is not so easy. It is intrinsic knowledge which has come for generations. But in one generation, in the next 25–30 years, you won't have people who know how to grow a crop. With such a huge population on our hands, how are we going to do this? So, taking care of our soil and water is most fundamental. It is no more a luxury socialite talk, that in the evening we'll say, okay, I'm green, you're green, okay? Those days are over. Right now, the land has to turn green. The nation has to turn green because these rivers flowed when the entire nation was a rainforest. But all is not lost because we are taking this action, we are seeing this enthusiasm in various administrations at the right time. Rivers in India run for approximately, all the major rivers put together, 20,000 kilometers. Out of these 20,000 kilometers, 25% of the land is in the government hands. This is a big thing. This 25% must turn into a forest. There should not be any ambiguity about this. This must happen. The remaining 75% is in the farmer's hand. Out of this, 6 to 8% is delta land. Let's not touch the delta land, there's nothing to do there, let it be. The remaining 65%, approximately about 14,000 kilometers, which means both sides 1 kilometer means 28,000 square kilometers of land is what we need to plant. For this, we already have models demonstrated in Tamil Nadu, where if a farmer shifts from crop-based agriculture to tree-based agriculture, his income will go up 3 to 8 times in a matter of 5 to 7 years' time. We had a few Vietnamese experts with us and they said in their country, moving the farmer from paddy cultivation to fruit cultivation, their farmer's income went up by 20 times, 2,000%. I said, how is this possible? They're laughing at us because they came to India 20 years ago, studied in Indian agricultural universities, took this knowledge and made it a reality in their land. But we are all siloed up. Knowledge is in one place, activity is in some other place, there is no specific way to take this and reach to the ground. It's time we do that because All the knowledge you want is there in the country. People always talk about, if you say anything, they say in Europe they're doing this, in America they're doing this. See, we must understand, we have only 40 to 45 days of rain in this country, that's average. In Europe, it is 225 days. And almost across Europe, there's a minimum of 10 inches of snow in a year. Snow is a different matter because it slowly bleeds into the earth. It's not like rain, it'll come and go away, it slowly sinks into the earth. That's a temperate climate is a totally different thing. At least 15 degrees temperature difference is there between us and them. What they have done, you can't do it here. Tropical countries need a completely different kind of solution. This is what the policy is about, encompassing all aspects of the river revitalization, of the life in the river, the farmers, the larger community, the governments involved, how we can make sure it's a win-win for all of them. This is what the policy is about. On October 2nd, we will present it to the central government. Once it's accepted, we will also give copies to the state governments and the media and the variety of environmental experts all across the world. We are giving it to them so that in case there is some knowledge or some experience or wisdom that we have missed, they can always contribute and make it into a wholesome policy document. To implement this, there are many complexities. Execution has many complexities, topographical challenges, soil challenges, social challenges, many challenges are there. No nation or no government will go for it all out. We have a problem in the country, when a solution is offered, we think doing a part of it is a kind of a compromise. Doing a part of it is not a good thing. If we do it, we must do it a comprehensive way. Otherwise, it will not work. Then we will come to conclusion that it will not work. So this is an effort to marry science and politics. Some compromise is okay, but it has to be done in a scientific way. We have top scientists involved in the policy making. Tamil Nadu University of Agriculture is our partner. So what is been evolved is, over a period of time, a complete document, but still it is open to contributions from anybody and everybody. Above all, right now, we have to approach this strategically, not emotionally. Right now, everybody wants to go home and plant a tree. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. It may be for your satisfaction, it's fine. But we need a policy. If policy has to happen, we want a minimum 30 crore people, which is 40% of the electorate, must say yes to the river policy, which has a very long gestation period. Because we will see results only after 15 to 20 years. Green may come up, but for the rivers to rise, it'll take that much time. This is our moment in this country as a generation of people. This is our moment to prove that we are a responsible generation. We are not a freebie generation, we are not waiting for free things. We have to show that we are a responsible generation and we will not destroy this country, nor will we destroy the future of our children. In our lives, if we do not do what we cannot do, it's not a problem. But in our lives, if we do not do what we can do, we are a disastrous generation. It is my wish that all of you should participate in whichever way you can and make sure that 40% of the electorate should be on it. Only then a government will feel confident to make a policy which is a gestation period of 20 years or 25 years. Thank you very much.